Date, if it's just money, why don't you pay me back for it then? Silence. That's what I thought. After another sigh, she muttered, I don't know what's happened to you, Harold. You used to be such a nice boy. I rolled my eyes. I don't know what happened to you and Dad. You used to be parents. I hung up on her before she could say anything else. I had barely put my phone down when I got a notification. A Venmo request. From Jessica. I opened it. She had the audacity to ask me for $5,000, with a message attached, for emotional damages. For ruining my life. I stared at it for a full minute, trying to process the absolute insanity of it. Then I did the only sensible thing. I took a screenshot and sent it to my lawyer. If Jessica thought this was over, she had another thing coming. By the time the afternoon rolled around, I was still seething. The audacity of this Venmo request was beyond belief. Not only was Jessica unapologetic, she actually thought she was the victim here. Greg, my attorney, called me back. I've sent her an official demand letter, he said. She has 48 hours to return the money before we escalate. I thanked him and hung up. Then, just as I was about to make myself a coffee, I got a text message from Jessica. You're going to regret this. I frowned. Was that a threat? A warning? I didn't have time to find out because, 10 minutes later, someone knocked on my door. I opened it, half expecting Jessica. But instead, it was my father. I leaned against the door frame. Didn't expect to see you. He didn't even say hello. You're off the case, Harold. I raised an eyebrow. No, I'm not, he sighed. Look, I know Jessica screwed up, but she's your sister. You can't just throw family under the bus like that. I crossed my arms. Funny. I thought the same thing when she stole my money. Dad clenched his jaw. You're really going to take your own sister to court over this? I stared at him. Would you say the same thing if I stole from her? He shifted uncomfortably but didn't answer. That's what I thought. Then he tried another approach. Jessica's life hasn't been easy, you know. I scoffed. Oh, here we go. She struggled, he continued. She needed a break, Harold. She wanted to take a trip and reset. I blinked. So her solution was to steal from me? It's just money. I almost laughed. So if it's just money, why don't you pay me back for it? He hesitated for a second. Then he sighed again. You know we can't afford that. I stared at him, the realization hitting me like a brick. Wait. Did you know? His silence told me everything. I shook my head, my blood boiling. Unbelievable. You knew she took it, and you just hoped I wouldn't notice. It wasn't like that. No? Then what was it like? He exhaled. Look, it's done. She already bought the ticket. She's leaving in a week. Just let it go. I was speechless, then I smiled. Well, I hope she enjoys her trip. Dad narrowed his eyes. What does that mean? I shrugged. Just that if she thinks she can get on a plane without consequences, she's in for a surprise. I saw a flicker of concern in his expression. Harold, don't do anything drastic. I smiled. Too late. As soon as he left, I grabbed my phone and called Greg again. Change of plans, I said. I want to hit them where it really hurts.